Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the playlist of Flask tutorial, and this is Flask Friday. So today what we are going to do is that we will continue our Flask series with the quick start guide. So we have seen a lot of functionality already in our quick start guide, and in this, first we will start by using some Jinja 2 in our HTML. So all the code that was there in our previous video has been commented and it will be available for you guys on the GitHub link in the description. So what else we are doing today is that we will first import something that is called render template. So as the name suggests, what the render template do is that it renders a template. This description is actually given in its folder, its function itself. So renders a template from template folder with the given context. So it just told us that we have to make a folder called template. So we just made a folder called templates, and inside that we are having an index.html. So in our index.html we have specified the doc type to be HTML. We have given the title and we have also given h1 tag. If you want, you can write all those orthodox tags, HTML, head, body, and then close all of them. But just to provide you guys with a quick start guide, what I have done here is that I have skipped all of that part. So in our hello.py we have imported render template, and instead of returning our h1 tags and then our title tags, what we have done is that we have rendered a template, and inside that we have provided a parameter that is name of our whatever template we want to render. In this case we are having index.html. So I have started the WSGI server, and it is live on 127.0.0.1 for me. So let's just head to our browser. So in our browser we can see that this is index page, and hello from Flask is its title. So the thing that I want to show you guys is that if we will do some changes in this, our server will restart when we save it. But if we just write something in our HTML tag, let's just say hi. Sorry, not h1 but in a paragraph tag. So yep, we have done this thing, and then we just save it. See, no changes here. And if we refresh the page, what will happen is that it will come high. So this is something that is literally providing us with the dynamic content, that we are just changing things in our HTML and our server isn't getting any effect, because all of the data, all of the things are already running, and no change or no flow has been changed of that program. Only the output layout is changing, so that output layout gets reloaded in our browser itself. So our program will not restart every time if we do some changes here. So since we are using Jinja, what things I wanted to show you guys is that we can write some conditional or some Python code inside this. So to write a Python code, what we need to do, we need to initialize it with a curly braces and then provide the two modulus sign, and inside that we will write our code. So in this code what we will do is that we will first check that if a name is provided, so we say if name, and then it will instead of going that for that let's just print first a for loop. So a for loop will go like for I in range, and let's just go to 5. So it will print in another paragraph tag only. Let's just say hi. Sorry, we have to take a paragraph tag first, and then let me just instantly close it as well. So in this what we are going to do is that we will just say hi, we are in a loop. So we are writing this line just one time, and now what we need to do is that we need to end this for loop as well, to specify that no other thing is there. So we will say end for, to end this for loop. All right, so let's just remove all of those extra curly braces and modulus signs. And now I have just saved it, and now let's just go back to our browser and let's just see. I will hit refresh. So to refresh you can do this, or you can just press F5. So see, hi, we are in loop. So this thing just got printed 5 times, and we just wrote our Python code, and what we did is that we just used it in our HTML. So this is the advantage of Jinja 2 being embedded in our Flask. And now what we will do is that we will just write one more thing. Let me just remove this part, as well as let's just say hi. And all right, so inside this only, let me make a h1 tag. Now what we are having, what we will do here is that we will just say hi, and we will use the name that is provided by our Python, or maybe our user, that will get rendered here. So to pass any variable, what we need to do, we need to use 2 curly braces to specify a variable, and the variable, let it be name. So this is our variable name, and after that we are also having a full stop. So now this should be based on some conditions, because if we just save this, you can see that in our output it is saying hi and nothing is getting printed. So we need to first specify that if any name is being specified. So for that, let's just do curly braces again, and inside curly braces we need to start this again, and if name. So if name is there, then it should print hi name, and if there is no name, so what it should do, that will be else part. So in that else part, what should run, it should just maybe we should just say in a paragraph tag that no content specified, just full stop again, so that it all looks good. And all the thing that will get printed inside the else part, so we need to end if as well. So to end if, what we need to do, we need curly braces, and then we need percentage sign, and then we need to write end if. So this is how it is done, and let's just go to this page, refresh it. So we can see that no content is specified. So this name needs to be passed in our this index function. So what let's just do is that instead of passing this as a normal thing, let's just say name, so that this gets rendered here, and then we pass name, and then we just say that hey, name is equals to name. So let's just save this, and you can see that our server is getting restarted, and now it is again live. So let's just go and refresh it. Okay, so since the no URL was found, so what we can do is that we can say our name, so Tanishka. So what will happen, hi Tanishka, and this is index page, and if I say hi just Tan, so it says hi Tan. So this is all about our HTML pages, and Jinja also provides us with the concept of inheritance in HTML pages. So we will see that in the next video, where we will create a proper login page, and we will store cookies and a lot of stuff. So there is no other thing that will be required at the moment, so we can go ahead. So to go ahead, first of all, let's just discuss some other files that will be present in our project. So an HTML project, not an HTML project, a HTML project has its CSS file, its JavaScript files, its images file, and we just saw that in our Flask, what happens is that we have an index.html inside our templates. So if we have to provide with us an external CSS, or we have to store some images, so we need to store all of them in another folder called static. We will define another folder static, and then we will store all the CSS, all the images, all the things that won't change anytime soon inside that. What that will do is that it is actually a predefined structure. We can definitely change it, but suppose another developer is reading your code and he doesn't knows that all right, where is his CSS, but if you are using all those things that are already defined, so he knows that there will be a folder called static where the CSS will be defined. So these templates, these are not that much static, but all those things, CSS and images, that are proper static files, and all of this is so much dynamic. You just see that based on our inputs what we are getting is so what else we have got here is that where we can use render templates. We can use render templates with multiple options as well. So what are they? Multiple parameters we can specify. We just specified one parameter name, but we can specify n numbers of parameters. So instead of specifying n number of parameters, in the next video what we will see is that we will make a dictionary, and then we will pass all of the contents in that dictionary into our rendered HTML. Now what I need to talk about is that there is something called HTTP methods. You must have heard about get and post methods. So what get and post methods are, if we have to specify. So if we are you have ever seen something like a question mark, and after that there is some query, so that comes under the method called get. And this get part is whenever there are some variables there declared in our URL, so that is our get part. And the post method is something like that, when there is a form and input fields are there, we specify the form type to be post, so all the data gets transferred in post format. So let me just show that to you. So give me a second and I'll be back updating index.html. So what changes I have done here is that I have imported another function called request, and request should just pop up, and it is a variable. I believe that the function is not calling itself, so that is why something like whenever we go up on this thing, render template, all of the functions get what to say this, its description get available, but request is not showing up anything like that. So for the time being, what I have done is that I have specified app root and the URL, the root to be login, and then I have specified methods to be get and post. That means both of the ways are the data is acceptable. But what here we are specifying there is that request dot methods. So here we are specifying that if it is post, then you have to do the login. That means there exists a form in which data is being stored, and then that data is being sent in the method called post. So in the we will just make this whole function work in a while, but for the time being, only to explain you the advantages, I am showing you this. So do the login part. Else if there is no post method, or there is no form, there is no input coming, what to do? Just return the login form. That means the user hasn't logged in yet. So let's just go there, and if we just open this login, it will definitely show us error, because nothing like login form is defined. And for the time being, what let's just see some other quick start guides. I won't be writing all of those programs, because those are literally tons and tons of programs to write. So I will just show you how redirect and error codes and some cool stuff is happening in Flask. So we are in our quick start guide, and you can see that redirects and error. So we know that if no page exists, like for example, let's just go to /login. We know that we have defined login, but still we haven't specified anything. So we just got an error. It is a name error. It isn't an 404. So if we just say hi, so now an error will come and it says not found. So this error is a 404, page not found. You can see on title it says 404, page not found. So we can specify all these things, like if there is an error 401, so it just says abort it. From the Flask, what we have to import, we have to import abort, redirect, and URL. So redirect does nothing, but it just specifies whatever the URL for login is, and it just sends the data there. And in in the login part we says that abort 401. So we can just say that abort 401 in this, and let's just copy it. So instead of doing this, let's just say abort 401. And since abort is also not there, so we need to import abort. So abort, we have updated it, and let's just refresh the page. So what it will happen, it will just restart everything. So this is an index page, and if we go to /login, so there should be an error. It says unauthorized access because 401 specifies that. If the error actually just changed, you just saw how an error changed right in front of you, because this was an error. No, sorry, this wasn't an error. A name error was coming at that time, and now it is just saying that we are unauthorized to access it. These examples are not that much up to the mark, and not that much practical, but I'm just trying to show you guys all the functionality before starting the project, as we will use all of these small things in our program. So what else we are having? We are having something called an error handler, and this is an error handler 404. It just specifies page not found. So let's just copy this also for the time being, and instead of it will just save us some time. And we can also go to our handling application errors. We just click there, and we can see how all the errors are being handled, and how logs are prepared, how every error is handled, and how we can also do that. So let's just remove all of this. Let it be, no issues in that. And instead of rendering page not found.html, what let's just do, let's just write an h1 tag, h1 tag, sorry, I need to close this, I believe. Yup, that's it. And what it will say, no such page. We are making our custom 404 pages. You have seen in a lot of websites, when there is something like you just change some URL, the website just shows you that oops, you have broken something, like that. So it just says so what are we gonna do is that we'll just go there, and instead of login is not specified, but if I just go to Tanishka, and I can no such page. See, if we see what error was coming here, unauthorized, and before that it was showing us 404 page not found, and now it is just showing us the page saying no such page, because all the 404s or all the different URLs that are not present in our website will be handled in such a way. So what else we are having? In our quick start guide, we have something called responses. So the thing that I was telling you guys about APIs. So JSON is nothing but how all the APIs return things, and it is basically in JSON format. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Basically what it do is that all of the data gets returned inside these curly braces in form of something called we can just call this dictionary. I don't know we should call this a dictionary or not, but everything is in form of this, and this can be used as an API. That means one data will be then forwarded into next interface or whatever thing is there. Yeah, other than dictionary, so we can call this dictionary at the moment. So this is how we will be doing all those API content, and it is going to be much fun. We will do this thing in the next video. And then there is something called sessions. So to do this sessions, what I will do, I will first write this all code down, and I will show you guys how this importing thing is working, how the cookies are there, and then we will see message flashing in the next video. So yep, give me a while again, and I will be back with the code. Alright, so I have written all the code, and some more libraries to be imported, and that is called session and redirect. All the previous code has again been committed, so that whenever you are getting some sort of confusion, you can just go to my GitHub link, and then you just can check whatever is wrong and whatever thing you are doing wrong. So one very important thing that we need to do is that we need to define a secret key, and we will, in the next video we will see how to define a better secret key and what is actually gonna happen. I'm just giving you an overview about the login and logout sessions that are there in our Flask. Another thing, we have to import sessions. All right, I have imported sessions, so let me just erase this. All we need is redirect. So what we are having here, we are having a secret key, which we will be discussing in a little bit more detail in the next video. For the time being, you can just think of it as your key to encrypt. That means this will be used for hashing purpose. So now what we are having in our index function only, that if username is provided in sessions, then it will say logged in as whatever the name of user is, and if not, then it will say that you are not logged in. And then we are having a URL /login, which is having both get and post, and it is gonna see that if there is some data is coming from the post method, then it just will redirect us into our index page, and it will log in us as that username, whatever the username is. And in the return we are having a form. We can also render an HTML and provide all of this in HTML. Then we are having logout, and you can see that we are having session.pop. Pop is something like push and pop. If you have ever worked in linked list, sorry, not in linked list, in stacks, push and pop. So pop basically removes the last thing, that whichever is added. So let's just go to our part. So you can see that I'm here logged in as T Kohli. So if I have to log out, in your case nothing will be visible. So in that case I have to say log out. Yep. Okay, so you are not logged in. You can see that when we say log out, it just redirects us to whatever is the URL for index.html. So index.html is having slash, that means root is its URL. So and we are not logged in, so it is just giving us this. So to log in, you will be you will get this as the front page, not that. So /login, I need to go to and log in as my username is T Kohli, so logged in as T Kohli. If I log out again, if I log out, so you are not logged in now, so then I have to log in again. And logging in, I can just go for capital T Kohli. So yep, you just can see that now I'm logged in as T Kohli 00. So that's it for this video, and in the next video we will make a better user interface for login and logout. Also we will see how we can create base HTML and inherit that base HTML in our different HTML files. So yep, that's it. Thank you so much.